Justice for Anna Nicole. Now, I decided to hop on here because one, I'm an Anna Nicole fan, and two, I love to talk my ass off. And wanted to hop on here to talk about Anna Nicole because I don't know if anyone has seen the new documentaries that have been coming out about Anna Nicole. The most recent one was the Netflix documentary called You Don't Know Me. And the one that became free recently of the documentary about her and Larry Burkhead's love story on Lifetime. And I wanted to talk about this because every time I look at Anna Nicole and her son Daniel, I think to myself, damn, what an injustice, and they were robbed. Now, we all know those cases that just never leave us or go away, right? It's like a huge question mark. John Benet Ramsey, Marilyn Monroe's suspicious and mysterious death. And then there's one that also stays stuck with me, which was Anna Nicole and the death of her son. And I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist here, but Anna Nicole's death, along with her son Daniel, has bothered me for so many freaking years. And usually with these cases, it's almost like it's obvious to tell. Like you know what happened, and it's like hidden in plain sight. But everyone wants to rewrite the narrative.
And the thing with Anna Nicole,
same thing with Whitney
that
Houston and Bobby Christina.
she ran away
Don't get me
to the
started on that
Bahamas
one.
so that Larry Burkhead would have to jump through hoops to try to get Danny Lynn back. I think deep down, she knew Larry was the father, but she had this fucking bottom feeder of a friend, if you want to call him that, Howard K. Stern, in her fucking ear. And every time he would put the bug in her ear, she'd run back to Howard. So the sneaky thing about Howard K. Stern is that he weaseled his way into Anna Nicole's life. The problem with Anna is that she trusted everyone and she was very naive, very beautiful, but not very smart up there. Okay? And then when you pile that with drug addiction and you have yes people around you and a lot of money, you get a bunch more yes men and people controlling you instead of you controlling and kicking people out of your life. And so I think her saying that the commitment ceremony with Howard K. Stern, her attorney, was publicity was bullshit because honestly, Anna was drugged up all the fucking time. And who's to say that she did that commitment ceremony of sound mind? You could tell that she did not. You can tell that she's high out of her mind and under the influence when she did that commitment ceremony. And I wouldn't be surprised if that vulture talked her into it, right? Another thing is Howard K. Stern was an attorney. Um, as of now, I don't believe he practices law anymore. I think he still does. I think it's just what happened was he had a private practice and it closed down and now he serves as a public defender. So, hey, best way to downgrade, huh? It shows, reflects your soul. But anyway, he knew as a lawyer that he knew certain laws and certain ways to get out of things and certain laws around certain things, right? And in law, if you have a really good lawyer, an attorney, you know the loopholes and you can find loopholes. Well, I believe he was in love with her or in love with the idea of her, obsessed. And he was jealous of her and Larry Burkhead's relationship. Now, even though they had their ups and downs, I do believe that the relationship between Anna Nicole and Larry Burkhead was real. I believe that she loved him and he loved her. No strings attached, period. And I believe Howard K. Stern saw that and he didn't like that. And from what I gather, those two were always bumping head, competitive with each other, not so much on Larry's end, but more on Howard's end, because he probably knew that one day or feared that Anna was going to run off with Larry and just forget about him. And I really wish she would have. I really wish she would have put her foot down more with the people around her, especially that guy. I don't even know how he went from her fucking attorney to her best friend and then her lover, sometimes lover, to sleeping on her couch. It was just, oh my God, crazy. But like I said, back to the subject, Diane, he knew that in the Bahamas, there is a law that when you have a baby, whoever you state, I think by verbally or on the birth certificate, who the father is, that's the father, regardless of DNA or anything, which is absolutely wild. It's like, imagine if I, as a Johnny Depp fan, it's been my husband since forever, I meet Johnny Depp in the Bahamas or like in California where they have like a father in state law and like, um, I literally have a baby and just pin it on him and he's forced to take care of it, even if it's not really his. It's just, ooh, any person's dream who wants to trap someone, right? But anyway, he knew this and he used it to his advantage. And I think when her and Larry were fighting, he would put the bug in her ear and she would run back to him every time. And I think he was definitely her handler. He would feed her drugs to keep her doped up and drugged up. And when you're drugged up, you're not of sound mind, you're not lucid, and you're not able, you make or do stupid things or make decisions that you may not have made when you were sober. And he knew that Anna was an addict. And so I think what happened was she knew, I mean, yeah, she probably looked at Howard, she probably slept with him, no strings attached, but I don't think she was in love with him. It was more like, oh, we're just having fun. I think with Larry, she really did love him and have feelings for him and vice versa, right? And I think he knew that. And he came up with this devious plan. Like, look, you have Denny Lynn, let's move to the Bahamas so that way, if you want to get away from Larry, I can say I'm the father and that's it. And I think the commitment ceremony was to, I guess, to solidify that even more, that Larry's not the father, which, it made me disappointed in Anna, but at the same time, I still love her. I'm still a fan. And I try to have compassion because she was so doped up at the time and under that guy's control and thumb. And I just look at it like this. When things were wrong, when things were going bad with Larry and when they were fighting or when she didn't get her way, she'd get mad and run back to Howard. And then when things weren't going well with Howard, she'd run back to Larry. We see this. If you listen to the documentaries and stuff like that, you notice this. Um, she and Larry would get into it a lot. They had a lot of ups and downs. She would either kick him out or he would leave, go back home, and then she'll call him not too long after and be like, oh, come back. And he would literally be flying back and forth. Like this poor guy. I felt bad for him at times. You could tell Larry was a great guy and still is a great guy. And she would go back and forth. And then when things were bad with both of them, she would turn to drugs. What's very suspicious to me is that she had a nurse, a lawyer, a psychologist who was supposedly her friend, and a bodyguard by her side, and they still couldn't save her. And it's just weird because she was surrounded by so many medical professionals towards her final days. And literally 911 was called when she was at the brink of her death. Another thing is, why would Howard or why wouldn't someone not call 911 when they found Anna Nicole sitting in her bathtub without the water running, dazed and confused. Wouldn't that signal anybody that something's not right, or maybe there's something wrong? Someone who really cared about her would take her to the hospital. If someone cannot even get out of bed or stand, and then they're found fucking disoriented in a fucking bathtub, I don't give a fuck what you think. You don't want to go to the hospital, but I'm taking you to the hospital because I don't want anything to happen to you. She needed immediate medical attention, and her supposed friends didn't help her or gave it to her. Hmm. So there's a story. Suspicious to me that Daniel dies 3 days after arriving at the hospital. Yes, there's always possibilities. I know Anna was an addict, and she probably had access to these drugs, and he probably knew where to find them. But it's weird how it's supposed to be a joyous time. He ends up dead in a chair, and nobody knows where he got the meds. Presumably Anna. But I was reading somewhere that at the time they weren't really talking much. He wasn't even staying with her in the Bahamas because he didn't really like what was going on between the he didn't really want to be involved in the drama between Larry Burkhead and Howard Kate Stern. And he left and went to live with one of Anna's best friends, closest friends, I guess. So he wasn't there, but he actually flew in. He said he actually didn't want to go. But his friend said, "Look, your mother just gave birth. Just go there so you could see your sister." So he went, he flew to the Bahamas to visit with his mom. For one, I don't fucking trust Howard K. Stern. I think he's a bottom feeder. I think he's been a bottom feeder from the very beginning. And I think he was very dangerous. The fact that he had all this access to Anna, and I believe he was more of her handler than a boyfriend, her yes person to keep her drugged up. I feel like whatever it took for him, he was going to do. Because after Anna passed, he was also saying that he was the father of Danny Lynn. And I think if you think about also, I don't also, the other reason why I think he never really loved Anna is because you don't record someone when they're at their lowest state and then laugh about it, make fun of them, and then tease them and say, "I'm making this video because this video is worth money." He was literally going to use that video, profit off of it, sell it, because he probably knew it would sell for millions. And also, I believe he was going to use that video just in case if Anna did leave him. He was going to use that video against Anna Nicole to take Danny Lynn away, to show that Anna Nicole was not a fit parent. Because in the video, she's clearly high on drugs. This is the infamous clown video. He's recording her. He's making her say things on camera that she wouldn't have otherwise because he's coercing her to say it. And obviously she's in a drugged stupor. And it's going to be easy. She's obviously more easier to control. And she's pregnant in this video. Anna was literally so high out of her mind that she fucking peed on herself and thought that her pregnant belly was just gas. And Howard K. Stern said he loved her, yet he was filming her on drugs, saying this video is worth money. And you have the nerve to say you love her. If you're able to do something like that, something as low, down and dirty as that, you are capable of anything. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one that supplied it to Anna and Daniel. I'm not saying he's involved. I'm not saying he did it on purpose. But I kind of suspect that he had a hand in this. That man, you can't tell me, is not capable of anything. He literally worked his way into Anna Nicole's life, weaseled his way in, spotted how weak she was at her vulnerable points, and fed her drugs.
to keep her under his thumb and under control. And for that, I have zero respect for people like Howard K. Stern. I guess we will never know. From the stuff that I'm reading and the documentaries I saw, I do feel like it was an accident. I feel like Anna Nicole never really stopped being suicidal. She was suicidal after her son passed, rightfully so. Everything that she did was for Daniel. Yes, she got the little girl that she always wanted, but Daniel was the love of her life. That was still her son. And I think after he passed, she just didn't see a way of living. The fact that she kept taking medications, these really strong medications, mixing them and then continuing to take chloral hydrate and all these medications just proves to me that she had just given up and didn't care. She didn't care about dying. She's like, whatever, I want to go be with Daniel. And now she is with Daniel, and now they're buried side by side together. And the only link that she has to this world is her daughter. And oh my God, she looks so much like her mom. Beautiful. I believe Daniel is maybe about 17 or 18. And God bless Anna Nicole. She may have done so many, not so great things in her life. But one thing I could say for sure is that she chose a great guy to procreate with. And that person, that man is Larry Burkhead. God bless Larry Burkhead and Danny Lynn. And rest in peace for Anna Nicole and Daniel Wayne Smith. And whatever is done in the dark will come to light. And Howard K. Stern, you have your day. You will always have your day. Every dog has their day. And if you had something to do with their fucking deaths, it will come out in due time. And again, I don't think he loved Anna. I think he was in love with the idea of her, what she represented. It was more like an obsession, an infatuation. And just like the world had a fascination with Marilyn Monroe, everybody had a fascination with Anna Nicole. And I think it was more about the attention that he got from being associated with Anna Nicole. That's what I think about him. He's a bottom feeder. He has no life. He's a nobody. And uses people. That's what I think about him. That's what I think. Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
And with that being said, thanks for watching.